Ace-3 suited for lock.
I wish you'd have had a draw, too.
Raises to 3,000. Tony G calls. So does Phil Hellmuth. And the Straddler calls. 3-King-10 on the flop. Goes check, check, check over to Tony G. He bets 7,000.
Betting his flush draw. Hellmuth calls with top pair.
Daniel folds. Down to 2 players on the turn, which is the 6 of diamonds. A check by Hellmuth. Bet of 25,000 by Tony G.
That's a big, big bet. All Tony's picked up here is another draw. He's got a flush draw and a gut shot draw. He's trying to win this pot with pure aggression. He's more than likely steaming from losing that huge pot to Daniel a few hands ago. If Hellmuth is the NIT they say he is, this bet just might work. But if Phil would only look just a little to his right, he might be able to see the smoke coming from Tony's ears. Now, even though Tony has bupkis right now, he does have 12 outs. If Phil calls, Tony could still get there. Don't forget, young Padawans, Phil's a Jedi now, and he can dodge bullets, even with the blast shield down.
Well, I guess he's folding now, because I think Tony saw his hand.
Yeah, when Tony sees his hand, it's harder from the call.
Phil folds.
These aren't the cards you're looking for.
Good, you showed bluff, Tony.
Folds the best hand.
Nothing to show.
You can show it. I had King Jack.
Say the river, please.
Lord, he folded top pair.
I would have missed.
Would you say you would have missed?
I love Tony G.
Hachem raised to 2,500.
It's a pretty loose raise, unsuited under the gun.
4s for the Straddler, who calls. The flop, Ace-8-10, all spades. Daniel, the only one with a spade, and checks. Hachem, middle pair.
35.
Makes it 3,500 to go.
Daniel will sometimes have the best hand in this spot.
And he calls.
He's got the best draw.
King of spades on the turn, giving Daniel a flush.
This is a weird spot for Daniel because you're either way ahead or way behind.
He fires 5,000.
Daniel's thinking that without a spade, Joe would pretty much have to give up this hand. He doesn't appear to be giving up.
Nope, he raises to 13,000.
Daniel's bet was pretty small. Maybe Joe sensed weakness and decided to try to make a move on him.
Daniel calls.
Move hasn't worked so far.
Jack of clubs on the river, giving Joe 2 pair. Daniel checks his flush.
Joe's got 2 pair, but he's going to have to rep bigger if he wants Daniel to fold. Let's see how badly he wants to blow Daniel off his hand.
How's 28,000?
This is a bluff designed specifically to get Daniel to fold exactly the type of hand he's got, a weak spade. Let's see if it works.
I feel like flipping a coin, but then I'll hope it comes to call. Do you ever do that?
Oh, yeah.
Flip a coin, but you want it to be call at the end? Okay, I don't have the queen of spades. Just want to make that clear.
Sure, Joe likes that.
Thing is, I've seen you do this before. Who was it against? It was Howard Lederer.
You remember that?
Yes, and it was 4 flush, and you
That
didn't have
was
anything.
So long ago.
Yeah, and you just totally bluffed him in the same exact spot. Where you raised the turn, you bet the river, and you didn't have it, and he folded the better hand. And I feel like I might do the same thing.
Total recall.
See, if I knew you watched television, I wouldn't do the same thing, would I?
There's only one problem, Daniel. If you watch TV, nobody would ever try to bluff you. I'm just trying to tell you. If you've ever watched, nobody would try to bluff you.
Oh, man, I was going to fold. I mean, I was going to call, now I think I might fold. Damn it.
Even though Daniel's got a flush, it's only a bluff catcher at this point. No worse hand would ever bet this for value.
We made a real good show yesterday.
I changed my mind. I don't know, my first instinct was call, and I'm folding.
Daniel folds.
Oh!
Bad?
Sorry, Joe.
Did you show a spade?
And Joe shows.
Oh, I knew I should have my first instinct. I had the 4 of spades.
Wow.
10-7 for Daniel.
Uh-oh, this is Daniel's favorite hand, and it's actually gotten him into trouble in the big game before.
Re-raises on the button to 5,200. Over to Seiver, who calls.
Scott Seiver is really hoping Daniel has an overpair so that he has the right implied odds to make this call.
Hachem folded, so heads up to the flop. King, deuce, queen. Seiver checks the best hand.
That would have been a big flop for Joe. Negreanu was repping a big un pre-flop. Let's see if he keeps repping.
He reps, betting 6,200.
Looks like Scott's gonna peel.
He calls. 6 of spades on the turn. Seiver checks.
Daniel still got just 10 high. This is one of the dangers of having a favorite hand. Daniel seemed a little gun-shy all week when bluffing Scott Seiver. Let's see if he can fire a third barrel.
Daniel does fire that third barrel, making it 14,200 to go.
I could justify Scott's call on the flop, thinking maybe Daniel would shut down after one bet, but Daniel certainly hasn't shut down.
Seiver keeps it going. He calls.
Seiver's totally stationing Negreanu.
You mean like a calling station?
Exactly.
4 clubs on the river. Seiver checks.
Daniel's loading up for a fourth barrel. Sick.
Daniel fires 36,000.
How much do you have behind? Thank you.
Despite the fact that no draws really came in, this would be a pretty sick call. Daniel bet far less than the pot, so this really does look like a value bet. Scott really doesn't look like he believes him, but in a situation like this, if you call and you're wrong, you look like a total fish.
36.
Daniel sticking to his new strategy of being quiet. Shh.
Seiver folds the winner.
Phew-wee. He had me staring. I had my favorite hand. You know what that is?
10-7?
No, the 10-7.
Oh, 10. I
The
said
exact
10.
suits.
I
Seven.
said 10-7.
Oh, you did? I'm sorry. 7 of diamonds and 10 of clubs specifically. Those are the ones. I can't believe I got away with a bluff. Yay!
Now, I'm going to speculate. I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
I think that was good for the game.
Yes, I'm assuming that was.
Haxton raises to 1,500. Mercier ace-jack. Calls. Fills in. 5-8-6. Haxton
Ike's got a gut shot to the nuts.
checks
Jason's got the best hand with ace high.
and checks.
Phil's also got the same gut shot to the nuts.
And bets 3,200. Ike repops to 9,200. That gets Jason out of the way.
Ike is just check raise semi-bluffed.
Phil calls.
Adventurous quick call from Phil. He's got a gut shot, but his 9 and 10 outs are dirty.
Ace on the turn would have given Jason top pair.
That's why I always cover my eyes after I fold.
Action on Ike.
Let's see if he decides to try to rep this ace.
Nope, he checks. The jack of clubs would have given Jason two pair.
Both players have rivered an open-ended draw. And both guys have only got nothing but 10 high. I'm sure Ike thinks he's got no shot to win this if he checks.
He bets 50 grand.
So sick. So sick. I can't believe I checked the turn here. I mean, if he checks, I can bluff. But I can't call him with 10 high.
Phil folds.
You could.
I had the nut 10 high, so probably not.
Ace jack beat.
You did? 10-9.
Ike put Phil in an impossible spot.
Chop is the best.
Did I have ace jack beat?
Yeah. Top 2. No. Didn't think so. How can he have anything? He checked the turn. It looked like I could have just won it right there. I should have shipped it.
You didn't have the heart and commitment to pull the...
Beat me to it. I was going to say that.
You kind of wanted him to win the pot. You wanted him.
It's on you, Mr. Loose Cannon. Ernest Wiggins, Queen 10 offsuit.
Cool.
Limps in. Doyle calls. Queen 3 for Tony. Raises to 1,500.
Bound to hit with it this time.
Phil Hellmuth. Good hand with pocket 10s.
Decent sized pair for Phil Hellmuth. He didn't re-raise last hand with ace-king. Let's see if he changes things up now.
Just called.
Calling's going to let a lot of these other hands in the door.
Like Ernest Wiggins and Doyle Brunson. So 4 players to the flop. 6-5 jack, 2 diamonds. Tony G with a flush draw. That's 5,000. Hellmuth's along for the ride.
Not quite the card I needed.
E-dub's out.
Doyle's out flop, Phil's 10s with top pair of jacks.
Doyle raises to 25,000.
Doyle's made a good read. He thinks he has the best hand. This is a value raise.
Tony G makes the call.
Phil looking to the cameras for answers.
Is this for real? Are they recording this? I mean,
Are you recording this?
is this for real? I mean,
No, Phil, you're not being punked.
yeah, it's for real.
He does fold.
Nice, nice, nice. It's just so much fun here. I mean,
Down to Doyle and Tony on the turn. 9 of spades.
All in.
All in for Tony G.
Tilted Tony using pure aggression here.
Seen that show before.
And it works. Quick fold from Doyle.
And Tony rakes in a nice-sized pot.
Should have checked it.
Tony steam bet blows Doyle off the best hand.
If he checks it, he gets the max, huh?
It's all in.
I thought you'd call. I wanted to fill in, so I wanted to give you the opportunity to participate. But you did. That's all.
don't worry, Tony. I just had pocket tens. That's all. I just had a bad feeling you had the
ten, you
queens.
would win.
Yeah. I had a bad feeling you had 2 queens before the flop, because every time I flop top pair, you have something.
Been there and
Pocket
done
sixes for the loose cannon. Raises to 1,200. Action folds around to Doyle Brunson. Ah, with the Brunson.
And he's reaching for chips.
Raise the pot.
I guess if the hand's named after you, that does make you pot committed.
A raise to 4,400.
So 32 more?
Correct.
Will calls.
I don't know if anyone's the real favorite against 10 deuce when Doyle's holding it.
8 queen deuce on the flop. Bottom pair for Doyle.
What you got approximately? No, not just approximately. That's good. I can
50,
see.
55, 60.
I'm all in.
Pushing it.
Doyle's all in.
Wow.
Fire up the TiVo. It's the Doyle show.
Doyle Brunson poker, baby.
Will folds.
You said it.
Doyle shows the Brunson.
Oh, no.
You just can't help it with that hand. Doyle just can't help it. This is Doyle's hand, right here.
It's very loose with my money.
It's a world champ.
I know his hand.